Hello and welcome. Today I'm starting my new sketchbook and I will be using this watercolor gouache crab painting I did a little while ago as my color palette inspiration. This is my 8th sketchbook and I didn't really start keeping track of how many sketchbook I'd gone through until quite recently, and so I may have done more, but I don't quite know for sure. So I will just say that this is sketchbook number 8. My old sketchbook was quite a bit smaller, so I'm excited to be using a bigger one. Also, the paper in my old one had a much lower GSM, so using mixed media was sometimes a little tricky, and there were a few pages where the paper just got so wrinkly because there was just so much media on it that it just couldn't really handle it. But today I am using the Ohuhu hardcover sketchbook, and so far I really enjoy it. I'm still breaking it in. I haven't done too much in it, but with this piece I used markers, gouache, pencil, kind of everything that I had. I just kind of threw it at it and it seemed to handle it pretty well. So to me that's a great sign. I personally prefer using the hardcover sketchbooks. I just don't really like how the spiral bound ones are, and the spiral always seems to be getting in the way when I'm drawing on like the left page. It's like always in the way of my hand, so I don't really like it. Plus, with the hardcover, it makes it feel like you can do bigger spreads by combining both the left page and the right page and drawing over the paper crease. So, I really like that about it too. So, for the color scheme, as you saw earlier, I was going for the crab. Just a very like jade kind of color with the light blue and green pastels. My marker collection isn't super big, so I just looked at what I had and tried to pick the best I could, colors that I thought would match the vibe I'm going for. So I think in the end I'm quite happy with it and it kind of matches, but it's not 100% what I envisioned, but that's okay. Usually art doesn't go according to plan, and that's alright. But anyways, to start out, I just did the alcohol markers, and then later on you'll see I'll layer with some gouache, and then on top of the gouache go in with some color pencil and just kind of clean up any lines and colors that I'm not a super big fan of. It took me a little while to figure out what I was going to do for the cover page, and I went a little bit back and forth, but I knew for sure I wanted to include my two OCs, Echo and Moss. Echo is the one with the bird on his arm, and he is like a fairy kind of character, and Moss is the one on the bottom, kind of just lounging in space, I guess. It's not very clear what he's lounging on, but anyways, he has more of like a fawn satyr kind of character design, and I just kind of put him under the fairy classification because I feel like fairy is broad enough and not very clear, so it just kind of works for whatever elements that you throw at your character, like wings and horns and stuff like that. So it's not like tied down to being a satyr or fawn. I kind of have more leeway with what his character is when I just put it under the fairy umbrella, so that's what I did. Anyways, so yeah, I just went with those characters. I also wanted to go for a very Alphonse Mucha kind of feel, Because I was browsing Pinterest when I was thinking about what kind of positioning for the composition, and I was feeling very inspired by the aspect of nature that he includes with his characters, and I feel like that's mostly what I included, is the natural kind of world-ish. I didn't really go crazy with the background. And then the characters themselves are very, like, relaxed, and they're just kind of hanging out in this, in my mind, it was kind of like a garden area. It's not very clear. I didn't do very much detail in the background. I don't really do backgrounds. It's definitely a weak spot of mine. I feel like I have a lot of those, but in the sketchbook, hopefully I'll be working on that more and improving on my backgrounds. It's always fun to set some goals for a new sketchbook, so that will be one of them. Hopefully you'll see more backgrounds. But anyways, Alphonse Mucha was definitely an inspiration for what I was trying to do here. I'm not sure if it's very clear though, so let me know what you think. But yeah, almost done with the marker base, and then we'll go in with some gouache. I'm not very good at using gouache yet. I'm still learning it. I've had it for a couple years, but every time I break out the set, I'm always so intimidated by the colors. I think I have the 12 Jelly Himi set, and I feel like that requires a lot of mixing and just knowing how to mix colors, which I'm still learning how to do. I feel like I'm getting better at it because I've been trying to reach for that gouache set more often to finish off my pieces and include it more in my work, because there's only so much you can do with a tutorial. You eventually need to actually create something with the knowledge that you've gained, so that's what I've been attempting. So, you know, I think in the end I did like how this piece turned out, and it was fun to make, and that's the most important thing, is that it was fun to make. So yay, I'll probably just leave it at that. I didn't really have too much to say about starting the new sketchbook because I don't really do a ton of crazy things to start a new sketchbook. I mostly just do the cover page and go from there. I did put a few stickers on the inside cover. The outer cover is kind of plasticky, and I'm not really sure how well stickers will stick to it, so I'm hesitant to put some stickers on the outside cover, but I did put a few on the inside, and so I'm feeling like it's more personalized and we're getting somewhere. So yeah, I'm planning my next video to be Halloween themed, since we're in the season. So stay tuned for that. If you're interested in seeing that, let me know. And I might do some additional little Halloween sketches. Fall is too short. I wish it was longer. It's my favorite season, and yeah, it feels like it's already over, which is so sad to me. Anyways, let me know what you think and what you would like to see next, and I'll leave you guys to finish the video with my colored pencil that I'm doing right now. So see you guys later, and have a beautiful day.